Hey there! Did you know Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices? And when you download the Kroger app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Kroger today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Vietnam War, it's over. Your job's just begun.
A new HBO original limited series.
Welcome to the world of spycraft. Strap in.
From executive producers Park Chan-wook and Robert Downey Jr.
What are you concealing?
Based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by Viet Thanh Nguyen.
What if I told you that I was a communist spy?
How did you become this?
The Sympathizer, streaming April 14th on Max. Subscription required.
In the world of Iridiana, we focus to the southwest of the mainland, the elven kingdom of Avonlea. To those that live there, the smell of salt danced in the cold, crisp air of winter like gentle whispers on the breeze. The sun-kissed crystal sands stretched miles upon miles on the country's wavy shorelines, which hugged the vast oceans that sparkled like clear sapphires. The capital stands tall at the highest cliff sides to watch the vast waters, its ivory buildings reaching skyward with intricate carvings that rivaled natural beauty. The land held everything. Lush forests, vast plains, and cascading mountains. However, there was a sheer contrast to be had as well. For every city, town, and village, there were old homes laid to ruins from battle, forests that were flattened from sudden forces such as ice, acid, fire, or lightning. And destruction litters the roads after journeying no more than a day's travel away from home. Huge intelligent monsters, covered from head to claw to tail of plated scales, made themselves known, to be feared, to be merciless, filled with such immense power that demanded to be revered and respected. The fear of dragons was far more common in Avonlea than the other 3 countries. The cries of panic and the calls of battle of those trained and those sent from other countries happened more often than birds calling out when the warm days of Kitki graced the lands. With more than 600 years of fighting these creatures, the deepest of scars were left on the mind, the soul, and the world around them. The world had the dragons cornered to the Isle of Dragons, an island off the coast instead of the entire continent now. The quiet peace of birdsong happened once more often than as of late. However, we ventured to a little home in Waveridge, a city nestled in the mountains, several days' trip just north of the capital of Avonlea. Half of the city was carved into the mountain and the other half of it out. It was protected enough to keep people safe and the area defendable should anything happen. A young half-orcish man with the scrawniness of youth to his build and the ever-growing bulk of muscles as he teeters on the edge of adulthood, opens the door to the sounds of scratches of pen and paper and looks at my player. Could you introduce yourself a little bit and your character?
Yeah, when you say introduce yourself, my name's Scott Shane. I'm part of the Lawful Stupid podcast. I am going to be playing a character named Ax'l of Rondo. He is a human look presenting, but secret. He's an Asmar. Don't tell nobody. You'll see him with little round spectacles, and he's got big messy hair and a messy beard to match, and it kind of all just goes into one big fluff ball of mess. He appears to be in his 60s. He's an older looking guy. He wears very simple clothes. You'll notice on his skin these splotches of ink kind of everywhere, and on his clothes as well, as he tends to work with a quill.
Yeah, what you working on?
Right now, I'm working on. What am I working on right now? Right now, I'm working on. Let's say I'm working on a history. Right now, I'm currently working on a history of a small family that nobody has taken much note of, but does potentially have some noble lineage that is on the down low.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this young man will look at you and your paperwork and like come over real close and kind of like hover over your shoulder. Kind of like a bounce to his foot. It's like, oh, are you still working on that?
Yes, I'm still working on this. What can I do for you?
Well, you did you want to check out my little machine that make your work go much faster?
Oh, yes. Let us all gather and marvel at the wonders you've created. Yes, will show me.
All right, here. It's downstairs.
Yes, come on.
Can you tell me what your home looks like?
Oh gosh, it is a mess. So we live in what can very graciously be called a super hovel. We are not in the best part of town. We are like up like 4 layers above like an orcish barbecue joint. Like, it's like it's a bit of a climb. It's kind of ratty. There is just loose paper everywhere. There we have just on top of so it's 2 levels that belong to us. There's the lower level where there's kind of like a small area that's set up both for Wilf to work, who is my ward, as well as there's like a little common area for us to like. It's where we eat our meals and it's where we sleep and it's kind of everything. And then upstairs is all dedicated to Ax'l's work. So there is that's where the owlery is. That's where we have several owls that they're constantly carrying messages back and forth across the land, just for the various piecework that Ax'l is always working on. So there's owls and the smell that's associated with them. It's not much, but it's home.
Well, it's home. So he'll carefully go through and try not to knock over any papers or books or any other things out of the way, because I feel like they're organized just particularly so you can find it later.
I know where everything is, and that's what counts.
Oh, but here, check it out. All right, so I've built this bed here, right? So it's going to turn these knobs there, and then you see these letters and how they're like metal, and you just it stamps down after you put it on the way you need it to be, and then it'll make multiple of them.
I see. And how long does it take you to set it? If I wanted to send a letter, and I wanted to send it to multiple people, how long will it take me to assemble the letter for print?
As fast as your hands can move, which...
Oh, okay. All right, I'm ready.
All right, well, here, watch. Okay, what letter do you want to write? Or should we just make up something?
To whom it may concern. I hope that these words reach you and that you are well. It's me, Ax'l. Hello.
He'll start like putting the letters down in his little machine for his little printing press, as quickly as he can, like stumbling over, spilling
very
stuff.
Strange of late. The clouds, they seem to be mocking me.
Okay. That should be enough. So have that, right? All your words. And then I'll put the paper here, and then I'm just going to push this down, and the ink's going to get on, and then he does all the little motions and mechanisms to, like, make, like, a piece of paper with all your words on it. And then he'll lift it up and, like, show you his little print thing.
Takes it in his hands and examines it. Well, It's not exactly artwork. I'm not impressed by the font or anything, but...
Okay, but watch this. And then he does it again.
Ah, so
and now
fast!
there's 2.
You did it so quickly!
So now you can make your books. And all of them. So many of them. You don't have to sell it just to the one noble person who wants it. You could make it for, like, all the rich guys. And they'll take it.
This is going to change things, Wilf. I'm going to be honest with you. I had my doubts at first, but I like this quite a bit.
Oh, I'm so glad. But looking at the sun and the time now, and you've been working and I've been working, we should probably eat. 'Cause I forgot.
Yes. Yes, feeding you. I forget that's a thing I have to do occasionally. Yes, let us go. We should go into town and eat food. I don't remember where the kitchen is.
Oh, it's downstairs in the restaurant. Remember, they let us borrow it sometimes?
Oh, yes. I don't feel like barbecue today. Let's go get some noodles.
Sounds great. Let's go. Man, happily take you out into town. Find a little cute noodle place. Probably like somewhere tucked in, right? I feel like that's the right vibe.
Yeah, I think so.
Like little hole in the wall. Got like nice little bits and bobs, so you can always find like the best meal. Always for a decent price too. Especially for a growing boy that's eating so much.
Oh yeah. And I think Wilf is already like, he's on the hustle. He's like, hey man, you're probably gonna need some menus, some flyers around town. Oh, that'd really get business booming. Anyway, thanks for the noodles.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love that. Yeah, he'll be working it like as you're eating. He like starts spitballing prices to whoever is like willing to listen. But as you eat, you hear one of your familiar hoots out in the distance of someone trying to like come back home, but like nobody's home.
Looks like we've got some new correspondence. So if you're about finished trying to wheel and deal for ownership of the entire South Quarter, then we can.
Yeah, I can. He'll like wipe his face. I'll work on it later.
I'm sure you will.
All right, let's go. I got leftovers too. Here, check it out.
Score.
So you'll head back home to your hovel, and there's a little owl.
Super hovel.
And you're a little owl. I like to think it's a little guy, and he's super ruffled. Like his feathers are always a fucking mess.
Our little wayward son. How did you fare out there, little guy? Did you get your message?
He hoots and like starts waving his leg around like, you take this little note off my leg, please and thanks.
I will. Give me a moment.
And I will, I will unroll and read this message.
Let's see. Ax'l, I am in need of your assistance and with the utmost haste. I am mostly certain it would aid towards your calling. Meet me at the Eternity in Honey Run, Avonlea, no later than Silver Blossom 22nd, your friend, Oishin.
This letter would seem very uncharacteristically short for Oishin.
Oh, there's a postscript here. Despised I am by knave and liar, after me the wise inquire. I rise above all death and fire. What am I? Despised am I by knave and liar, after me the wise inquire. I rise above all death and fire. What am I? The truth? Is it the truth?
Wilf will kind of like rub his chin. I mean, makes sense to me, but you're the usual guesser of Oishin's games.
I suppose. Oh, there's another postscript here. Postscript. Level 2 mage to D3. Wait a second.
Then you'll go over to your dragon chess set where you guys play your game, right?
Mm-hmm.
One move at a time by letter?
That's correct.
Looking it over, would you like to make an investigation check? See how smart your boys can do to do it? Or is it a dragon chess set roll with proficiency?
I guess it would be that one. I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rightly know. I do not have proficiency in dragon chess.
No, you don't.
No, I didn't get that. So let me just make what, like a straight intelligence roll?
Yeah, straight intelligence roll, please.
Straight in, no prof. Let's go. I got a 9.
Well, good thing is this one was fairly easy. So when you look at it, it takes you a minute, and Wilf is looking over your shoulder too on the board. And you can see like his puzzled face and your puzzled face as you're looking at the pieces. And you'll see him like move his fingers about, trying to guess where like the pieces should move. And you'll realize, probably after Wilf had made a motion with his hand about one of your pieces, to like where to put something, you realize this move might be a mistake. It opens up for you to be able to take the king in the next move.
Uncharacteristically wanton for Ocean, but here we go. This should allow me to get him. I'm gonna get him, Wilf.
Oh, looks like you're gonna get it. He made that easy for you.
Well, I don't know if you made it easy. Anyone could neglect the cleric. It happens to the best of us. I'm very skilled at the game, Wilf.
Right, you definitely are.
I got in his head. It's a mental game.
Oh, it must have been the contents of your last letter. That must be it, yeah?
Yes, I stumped him with my riddle that was way cooler and better.
Oh, but he said you needed to go out to some place out. I think the maps, and he'll like go to like probably one of where your many papers hang from the wall, and I bet there's maps upon maps, and they're all like, rolled in together, and he'll like start pulling them down and pull out the Avonlea one, and he'll point out like where the town is.
There's like a map of the region of Avonlea, and it's like it's like the last 10 iterations of that map, like layered on top of each other, so you can like go back 6 pages and see how it used to look.
I like that. That's fun. All the different iterations of the roads and where the towns are.
Mm-hmm. So whenever he's writing a history, he can be like, "What did it look like?" Here we go.
Sounds good. I was like, okay. Well, if you don't feel like walking, it's going to take 25 days, and if you take the long way, well, you're going to. It sounds like he wanted you to take the short way. It's the other way is maybe like 2 months walking trip by land.
Yes, I'd rather like to avoid that.
Yeah, you got about like. He like starts counting on his fingers real quick. That's about a month from now. You might need to start packing.
Yes, it seems I'm going to be gone for a while, Wilf. Yes. My friend needs aid, so I must go. Yes, and I begin to pack. I begin to just grab things. Let's see here. What am I going to need? Paper. Yes, I'll need paper. And then, what else does one take? Food! Oh, yes, food! Food and clothes. Food and clothes are important.
There, I'll get the food. You could do all the little tiny things, and he'll go pack you up like a setup.
Excellent.
Is there anything you'd like to take care of before you leave town?
Yes, I need to talk to Wilf. I'm going to be gone for a while. Now, I don't want to hear that you're using this new contraption for any sort of nefarious business. If I catch wind of images of buxom orcish women or, God forbid, unpeer-reviewed documents, I will unmake this meeting. I'm getting ahead of myself. I trust you, and I'm proud of you, and I look forward to when we are reunited, most ardently.
I got it. It's all gonna be good, Pops. He'll cover his mouth and like a oop, like oop.
Now, if you run into any trouble, I want you to go into Avonlea, and I want you to find Lord Grisham. John Grisham. That's okay. I can't barely who it is. Lord Grisham. I did him a good turn once. I tutored that pretty daughter of his that all the other guys could keep their hands up, which doesn't make any sense to me. She was very simple. She couldn't count by twos if she borrowed your fingers. And you go to him. I've done him a good turn. He will help.
Okay.
And eat.
Yes.
Make a note.
I'll put them everywhere.
Because you're going to forget. And you get too skinny. And people look at me like it's my fault.
I'm not skinny. Look at this. He's like pulling at some his clothes and stuff. He's like bulking up real good because he's a half orcish man.
You're wasting away.
Okay, fine. I'll eat. I'll remember.
A strong breeze would carry you away from me. I'd never see you again.
Okay, I'll eat. You'll put it on the thing, and I'll put notes everywhere on the door and on the printing press and on your desk and wherever else.
Very good.
Is there anything else you need? I got here. You got your bags. You got your coins. You got your letters, your papers. Did you remember your book? Your favorite one?
Titania, Puck, to me! Ha-ha! And a very sleek and beautiful owl will come down from the owlery. This one's my familiar. It's special and magical. And then she's going to just do a little circle and land directly in my big mess of a hair where she makes her nest. And also a book, my spell book, which is animated and magical. It kind of does the old book flap from over on the table where it sits, and I nestle it up and tuck it into my side, and I'm all ready to go.
All right. Well, be safe. Don't get eaten by sharks. Avoid bandits.
I wasn't afraid of sharks before.
He'll shake his head. He kind of give you one of those one-armed hugs, big strong one.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. I can dawdle here all day. Now.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Be good. I'm leaving.
Bye. Then off out the door you go. And it will be a journey. And let's see. The first 5 days you'll get to the capital, and then the next few days you'll be on a boat. During that time, I imagine, are you pondering about why Oshin's doing this? Are there any thoughts or memories that just kind of make you think of him?
It's very rare, I think, for Oshin to ask for my help in this way. If he needs something, it's usually something we mostly are pen pals. So for him to be like, hey, I need you to meet me here in Silver Blossom, like that, he's a little bit concerned, but also just a little bit excited, because what does his friend have in store for him? Is it going to be something that he's got to see with his own eyes? It could Oshin seems to be able to get his hands on and experience some pretty interesting things. So I think it's equal parts excitement and apprehension.
Cool. Pete, how did you guys meet?
Well, we met 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I was about 60. So this is also about when about the time when I stopped visibly aging.
Yeah.
And
so it might be weird for when you guys meet up because you've been pen pals for a while.
we haven't been pals. He might be expecting a literal fossil to show up at his door. I'm 111 years old. And my ears are not pointy, so that's not super normal. We met in a period of my life where I was about to give up when things were dark and I'd lost my purpose and my way and a very, very close friend. And that's when I met Orshi.
Yeah. I think you were doing some work. You know, like your usual book writing work, research, things to be studied and reviewed upon, just trying to find something to bring you out of that darkness, like something passionate. But you know, it's a hard time, and sometimes you just want to self-punish yourself.
Yeah.
And I bet you ended up somewhere really cold, right?
Oh,
Fighting the elements. So I think you ended up over in the Rhapsody Mountains. Rhapsody Spine. And it's frozen over there. Snow all the fucking time. You're bundled up. You have to do all the things. And you ended up finding some interesting thing with magic and phoenixes. But the legend that was in this area is about something called an ice phoenix. And you're just kind of curious on those restorative properties and how different they would be than a normal fire one. And because of where you were going up in the mountains and being near the Duke of the North family ties area, which it would be Duke and Duchess at that time, 50 years back. Oishin was tasked to, as a warden, to be your companion and aid, help you through the mountains, because sometimes even the dark and skeletons and crazy things from underneath the earth would come up and out into the snow, especially during the darker months. So I bet he was a ray of sunshine. He'd just strike up a conversation with you. It was like, well, pleasure to meet you. I'm Oishin. I'll take you up here on these beautiful mountains. They're glowing crystals of cold, but you know, sometimes it's better than nothing.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, I've got stories and riddles and whatever out the wazoo. I could sing you a song. Or do you need the quiet on this little walk trip? You know, though if we do quiet, it's gonna end up pretty long and arduous. I will tell you that. It sucks up here.
Yes, maybe we should try to distract ourselves a bit. What did you have in mind? What's your favorite?
My favorite. I like stories of heroes. Those are good. There's always a good time in that. Did you know there's this guy that was the first hero? I believe his name was Zelda Aqua. He was well known against everybody. Quite famous, I think. And all the legends and whatnot. Are you aware, or?
I do have a passing familiarity, yes. I too once had a fondness for stories of heroes, but I think it rather depends on the ending.
Well, all endings, no matter good or bad, they're always great. It's always a well-known story. It was created, it was made by somebody. They lived their life, they did the thing they were going to do. Sometimes they failed, but they still lived, they still did, isn't even Zeldaraqua, he slayed a beast to save the Moon Maiden, the Lady Silver, Arianwen herself.
It's true.
And I think he would prattle on to you about stories as you guys walk and talk and do your business. Is there anything else you'd like to add during that time period?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a lot of like Ax'l being a bummer, and then Oishin being like, nah. It's very interesting, the Ice Phoenix. Did you know that all entropy is all death? It ultimately ends in cold. It's heat that you lose that eventually ends all life. And yes, this Ice Phoenix, in the absolute zero of it all, in the absolute bitter coldness of it all, is able to start again. It's an interesting creature. I hope we see one.
Yeah, roll me a D100. I want to know if you will find this creature or not.
I would love to roll you a D100.
In my games, rolling low is better luck.
Good to know.
The only time we want to be reaching towards 100 is when we're trying to build something up.
I've rolled a 74.
74. That's not great.
Not great. Not great with those rules that you just explained. Yeah. Not great in the context of those things you just said.
With a 74, you guys adventure to go and find this Ice Phoenix, this creature of legends that people have spoke about. We've heard accounts in different towns and different villages up and down these mountains. And they point you everywhere. It sounds like this bird is never in one place. At one point, you think you might have found a nest of some sort with a crazy-looking blue feather, but you don't know if it's just some cool ice bird with a blue feather or if that was the actual Ice Phoenix's feather, because no one could really point what it was.
Got it.
You are welcome to keep the feather if you wanted, or it could be lost to time.
I think that that feather is now a quill, and I think that he uses it to sign very important documents.
I like it. So on your journey to get to Honey Run and Avonlea to meet up with Oishin, you went through the city and you're on the boats, and man, sailing is all right, but it's better than walking.
Yeah.
Especially with your old age in mind.
Mm-hmm. My bones hurt.
And while you're on the boat and thinking about Oi and your memories and wondering what taste of adventure you've got there, and maybe like penning whatever your thoughts are, or working on something, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
You see this lady and this man talking on one side of the boat for a little while. And then as you go throughout your day, you'll see her go somewhere else and start talking up this other man who looks dressed to the nines, like probably a wealthy merchant. He's probably the guy that's funding most of this boat with all his goods and services, and you just managed to hitch a ride because, helps pay for the extra whatever. And you see her chatting him up, and they're definitely having a great time. Could you roll me an insight?
I would love to. I've rolled a 6.
Yeah, they're just having a great time. She's chatting him up. He's having a splendid afternoon with this lady who's definitely hitting on him. She's got all the right vibes.
To be young.
Yeah, to be young. And they disappear. Off towards
to be very young.
To be very young. And then maybe not even 10 minutes later, you see that man from earlier that she was talking to, like, start, like, pumping himself to, like, kind of, like, be ready to be angry. Like, definitely putting on an act. You're just watching everything here. Like, you're aware of people. You see him, like, getting ready. And then you start seeing him stomp off towards where they went.
Interesting.
And then you hear it down below. There is yelling. Basically a threat about why is this man hitting on my wife, kind of thing. Like, why are you in bed with her, and blah blah blah. Like, why is this an affair you're having? And it's not the best of times. Everyone on the ship can hear everything. It's not quiet, and it's definitely a situation where they might be trying to get that merchant for money.
What to do? Let's see here. So you said they were like down, like they're under deck, like
Yeah, like they went down like below into an under area, probably somewhere close to where the entrance is, because you could have heard the door open and the slamming and all the ruckus that goes in between that.
Got it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop into Titania's senses, her sight and hearing, and I'm gonna have Titania kind of like not necessarily flutter or fly in a noisy fashion, but so much just kind of like hop on down there and try to get a look and listen on what's going on down there.
Yeah, sure. I believe with Find Familiar, you're just basically witnessing and hearing through her eyes and ears, right?
Yeah, I go blind and deaf to my own senses, and then it's as if I see through her eyes and hear through her ears.
It's definitely a scene when you pop in as a little owl, but like I'm guessing around the corner of the door just to like not be in the fuss of it all, because small owl. They're definitely a man and woman being what they are, but the lady is over to the husband trying to like apologize and then just kind of be like, it wasn't my fault, just having a good time, I'm just gonna go. She'll like quickly leave the scene with trying to fix all her skirts and stuff back out, brushing past your owl with the dress and ruffles. And then you see the man coming in and trying to like, you see him trying to pick a fight, in the sense of like, what's the word? Blackmailing for money. It's like, that's a married woman. Yeah.
You're trying to extort me. Just say you're trying to extort me and we can move on. Yes. Okay. Seeing that the coast is pretty much clear because Titania's scouted a little route where I can peek around the corner, I'm going to do that, and then I would like to cast the spell Sleep.
Oh, cool. On both of them?
I don't think I get a choice. I think the way this spell reads, let me see. Spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures a spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of you, choose within range, are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring conscious creatures. I guess I could technically position myself so that I was within 20 feet of the gentleman, but not within 20 feet of the merchant. I guess if I really wanted to.
Do you really want to, or do you want to do them both?
I don't want to get it's not my intention to get the merchant, but
Okay.
I realistically, with the way that like I would have to get close to like look around the corner to have line of sight to see the dude to cast the spell on him, I think I would have to get them both realistically.
As your one-on-one, you're this. We can have it. You're supposed to look cool during this.
Okay. And I'm gonna cast the sleep spell. I'm gonna roll 5d8. He doesn't have that many hit points, I promise.
Oh no, he does not have that many hit points. You could get him with 5.
Well, I got an 8 on one of the. I got 25. Him and 4 of his best friends are taking a nap.
Probably some of the bugs and rats underneath the spherical area definitely just gone out.
You hear a tiny chorus of honk shoes.
Yep. And the big guy just thonks to the ground, just out. Honk shoe, honk shoe, honk shoe. The merchant's over there like frozen for a second, like, what just happened?
Axel's gonna like poke his head like sheepishly through the door, like, hello.
Hello. Did you just see that?
I did that. He was trying to get you. I saw him psyching himself up before he came down here. He was like acting.
Oh, many thanks.
Yeah, people heard. It was kind of like embarrassing for you.
He'll like rub his face like, oh my god. But like start putting his clothes back on. Because he should be a little bit more decent. No, I appreciate the gesture. Thank you. I can repay you if that was you. You do magic? That's great. Are you a wizard from one of those really cool colleges?
I'm a wizard.
Oh, well, I can make a donation in your name to wherever you wish, or whatever you need. I appreciate you getting me out of that from this guy.
Oh, I don't really need anything. I'm kind of hitching a ride on your boat, so thanks. Thank you, actually.
Oh, well then, don't worry about the fee. I'll just... Don't worry about it. I'll hand you back. He'll hand back, like, a few coins from one of his pants pockets.
Awesome. Thank you.
Should refund your ticket right back there.
Very cool. He kind of, like, looks at the coins and, like, doesn't want to touch them. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
He'll, like, hop out the door, like, getting your shoe back on. Just... It's a mess, but, you know. No, I really thank you. If you need a favor at some point, just hit up the Wilson Ship Company. We'll help you out.
Very good. Yes, Wilson Ship Company. I will make it. What's your address?
We usually just do work here within Avonlea, within the Lovers' Waters.
Oh, very cool. I do most of my correspondence. I do mail, so I'll probably reach out to you via hour if I need anything.
He'll nod, like, that will definitely work. He's not sure if that will work, but you can see it on his face.
Excellent, cool.
And then he's going to skedaddle off the boat. Or not off the boat, into another area of the boat.
Take care.
To hide.
Not a smart man. Not good. Not good.
But your rest of your ride seems to go peacefully after that. There's a couple guards on ship who are now more attentive to Wilson. You simply that guy's name. Keeping a track of where he's going and whatever.
Yes, he needs babysitters. Cannot be trusted with his own loins.
You'll end up to Bellport, one of the cities closer to Honeyrun, and you'll know that's about 5-ish days travel by foot. And you smell it in the air first, the breeze and salt of the sea long past you, a sweet floral scent taking its place. It is Silver Blossom 22nd, about afternoon-ish. It's fresh here, far different from your home. The warm winds of spring now on the horizon. You hear the distant sounds of buzzing, the bumbling of bees that are waking from the changing of the weather from winter to spring. The little bugs visiting the new blooms of the soon-to-be colorful sea of flowers. The scene almost feels warm, picturesque in a way. Windmills and buildings, homes and barns and businesses off in the distance, beehives dotting all the green fields out ahead of you, as well as other farming lands and other crops too. But the one thing that stood out most against this scenery was a large willowy tree that seemed to tower over most of its budding brethren in the area. Of the magical trees still left in this world, this one may be one of the last. Still had a faint emerald glow to it, even in the afternoon sun. You would know this to be the Eternity. As you journey forward and walk this path on this road, you see the familiar winter Eladrin man ahead of you. His skin as pale as fresh blue frost, his hair a stark contrast of raven-colored black. He leans heavily on a scabbard as if it was useful walking stick, and he struggles to stay on his feet, his armor clinking as he stumbles forward, and his movement very labored.
I'll go to his aid. I'll try to give him like a hand.
As you approach, he'll look over and you see his bright violet purple eyes, what once were now seem a bit dull, and he looks kind of sickly. And he'll reach his hand over to at least use it to lean upon. And he looks at you and he smiles, trying to be that cheerful look again. I was like, Ax'l, oh, you made it. Could you lend me your cunning?
I can lend you whatever you need, friend. Why? What's happening? Why, you look worrisome.
He'll take your hand in both of his for a brief second, and you hear other footsteps approach very quickly. One a Herringon and the other a Loxodon. And that's where we're going to end our one-on-one.
Got there. Yes, Devin, that's you. Yes. Yeah, buddy. You're going to play too. It's going to be your turn soon.
Very soon, Devin. We see you in chat. Thanks, Shane.
Thank you, Avon.
You're welcome.
That was lovely.
I'm glad. However, just because we're doing a one-on-one does not mean we stop doing our roles for humanity. Could you tell me a little bit something about that?
Yeah, this month, at the recommendation of course, Inverted Zebra, everybody knows our wonderful host, Talking Stupid, has put forward the ASPCA, so that's the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Got that one. It's a really worthwhile organization because animals are the best. And I don't know. I like these guys. I like these cats better than PETA is what I'll say. I feel like it's more about like let's improve the lives of these animals and less about like political. They're cool. You should give them some dollars. And I'm going to give them some right now. When I roll a D20, you can roll whatever you want. You roll a D10, you roll a D6, you roll a D100 if you're a baller. We roll a 6 off our D20, and we hope that you'll join us.
Hooray! Hooray for them. Hooray for us.
hooray for everybody wins.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess like we always say.
We love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.